ElevatePod, where we elevate your mindset, inspire your spirit, and ignite your leadership journey. This podcast is brought to you by Elevate Leadership Services. My name is Pearl.
And I'm Chibwe Chungu.
We are the co-founders of Elevate Leadership Services and hosts of ElevatePod. The ElevatePod is dedicated to inspiring and empowering listeners, focusing on minorities and immigrants by offering valuable tools, resources, pathways to foster personal and professional development.
Yeah. Today, actually, in this episode, we are going to look at one of the powerful concepts that resonates with us so deeply, mostly in our personal life and also in the journeys that we go through every day. And this phrase is, "We lift as we rise." We're going to look at what does this phrase mean? Why does it matter to each and every one of us? And how can we continue to embody this in our daily lives as we make the difference to ourselves and to the people that we interact with? So let's maybe look at the phrase, a little bit about the phrase and what this phrase is all about and what I believe it means. I think it means that, to me, that as you and I continue to succeed, we should always remember that we did not succeed on our own as individuals. We succeeded because somebody somewhere, whether the community or an individual, helped us along the way. And therefore, the work that we do every day, achieving our goals, achieving our ambitions, we should always know that as much as we are climbing, we are also responsible in helping, supporting others so that we can all continue to uplift each other and actually make our societies and our communities better places. What do you think, Pam?
Totally agree. And to talk about really understanding what it means, I would like to maybe pose a hypothetical question, which really should describe what this means. So, what if success is not just about climbing the ladder, but about building a longer ladder for others too? That's another way to look at it as far as understanding what it means to lift as we rise.
Yes.
It's not just about us and our successes, but it's about lifting others as well in the process. So to me, that's what it means. And also from the aspect of immigrants and minorities, many of us know what it means to start from the bottom, facing systematic barriers, learning the rules of new environments, or even just moving along without any roadmap. So lifting as you rise means being able to use your progress also as a platform to help others.
Yes.
It could be as simple as sharing information.
Yes.
Opening a door, maybe that one's closed for us, opening that door for someone else. Right. So it really does highlight our interconnectedness of our journeys and the importance of community upliftment.
I truly believe in that. I, for one, I think when I start looking back and see how the community has supported me, I think uplifted me, and I'm where I am today as a single mother. I had a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues, and a lot of people who were actually taking care of my child. They uplifted me because I was able to attend to some of the work that I was doing and pay attention to the work I was doing because I knew there were friends or there were caregivers that cared about my child. And that is really uplifting me, because not only did they uplift me, but they also uplifted the child, because they gave him the love in my absence. So that is all what it means. And being an immigrant, as we say, that support was really needed, because all my family members are not in this country, right? So my family became the people that I met. My network expanded because I had people who came in my life, and I was in their life, and we kept on lifting each other, not in the same way, different way, but just offering that support in many different aspects. And I'm truly, truly grateful for everybody that played a role in my life.
Wow, very well said. And I can totally relate. I mean, I've had to build a career almost from scratch, and at the same time, building a family
Mm-hmm.
with family afar. So I too can relate, having had community friends turned into family that have been very supportive for my career journey,
Mm-hmm.
building this career with 5 children along. So I've had to rely on care by reliable friends and the community who have been so supportive to a point of sometimes I'll even feel a bit entitled to their help.
Mm-hmm.
That's how great of a community or of a support system that we have had. But looking back, that really does describe what it means to lift as you rise and recognize and look back to the support that we ourselves received as well and give back
Yes.
where we can.
Yes, yes. You know
Right.
what? When I look around the people that supported me, um, and maybe I can say supported us, because they're also supporting my son. Today, my son is 27. I still treasure those friends, those individuals, whether they spent 3 minutes or 5 minutes, they relieved me, or they gave me time to go and take a breathing space. They gave me a space so that I can take a deep breath or do something, some work. I can give you an example. One time, Dan Mather was my professor, my PhD professor, and Dan Mather came to visit us in Saskatoon. I was writing, I had a project that I needed to finish, and we were planning to go for dinner. So she told me, said, Chibwe, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Teza on a bike. And that's when he was just starting to ride this tricycle. We'll go for an hour, and I think by that time you'll be able to finish. She was my supervisor on my PhD, but she is
Wow.
my sister now. So in that particular moment, you can see how she lifted me up to be able to take it
Exactly.
aside so that I can focus on something else. And for
That's as
those,
real as it can get.
yes, I will never forget those moments. And there have been many moments like that. And therefore, for me, what I can do, maybe I may not be able to pay back to the people that uplifted me, the people that supported me, but I will be able to pay back in doing things for the community that I serve in, the community that I live in, mentoring people, coaching people, and doing things that actually builds the community. And I think with that, just doing it with love and doing it with passion is what I would just ask of every one of us to do.
That's awesome. This phrase, if I could call it, it really hits home
Mhm.
for so many of us who are immigrants or minorities or part of any underrepresented communities,
Correct.
because most times maybe it's just us
Mhm, mhm.
and family far
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
And then our journeys, it's all built in community value.
Correct.
It may not just be about us. So it's all about our families, our culture, our generations that are coming after us. So it is really real
Yeah.
for us. And it'll be nice to talk about the benefits that come
Mhm.
from lifting others.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there are so many benefits that come in lifting others. And as I said, if you do it with love, you, as an individual, you foster a positive environment. If you do it with joy, with passion, you are actively supporting other people in the community, volunteering your time, because time is very precious. And among us as immigrants, as minority as well, it's very important that we play a bigger role in actually supporting these environments and provide. And when we support those environments, we share the experiences that many of us have been afforded to go through, to experience. The experience of having to rely on others in order for us to accomplish our goal. And I think it's very important that we continue to broadcast this information so that other people realize that they are not alone. There are other people just like them who walked that path and saw too, so they can also do that as well.
Exactly. So another benefit that I can share is that when we rise, we
Mhm.
carry our stories with us,
Yes,
our history,
yes,
our people with us.
yes,
And when we choose to lift others along the way, we actually multiply our impact.
yes, yes, yes.
And also, it just creates a very positive environment,
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
an environment of uplifting each other,
mhm,
a mindset of shared
mhm,
common values, and a deeper meaning of success. Because what if success is not just about climbing the ladder?
mhm.
Like we said,
Yeah.
what end if you cannot share that success with someone else? So I believe the benefit really comes from the beauty of the impact on the community, and also the influence that we can have on others is great
Mhm,
if we can carry others along. So
mhm,
it is very wonderful when it creates a beautiful, strong network
mhm.
in the different communities. So it'll expand our networks, it'll expand our relationships and
Yes,
how we value ourselves as well. It
correct.
builds that bond. Just imagine walking into a place. Let me not say imagine, I'm sure
Mhm.
you have experienced that yourself, where you walk into a place and um, maybe there's no one there that looks like you.
I know, I know, I know.
There's no one there that has a background like yourself. So maybe no one can even relate to your kind of mindset. So
Correct.
imagine being in such an environment and having someone extend a hand
Yes,
of help, to lift you up in that moment. Imagine the impact that it creates for you.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I believe with that, when you receive that kind of help, there's
yeah.
no way you'll be, succeeding and not turning back
Mhm.
to open a door for someone else. Maybe
Correct.
because someone else opened the door for you, or maybe
Mhm.
someone actually never opened that door. And so it remains, like something that you want to see happen for someone else because now you can.
Correct, correct. As you talked, I was listening when you talked about being in an environment where there's nobody that looks like you. sometimes you feel as if you're the only immigrant. You may not be the only immigrant, but the only person who comes from maybe the region that you've come from. And that
Right.
happened to me. I remember when I was in Visalia, moved to Visalia. There were other people, but I didn't know them. And one day, because I kept on looking, where can I find somebody who is just similar, maybe from Zambia or from another country that I know, right? And as I was going in, Home Depot, I saw a lady coming out. I looked at her. I say, "Hi, where are you from?" And she said, "And you, where are you from?" And I said, "Zambia." I said, "Oh, you are the one." So to cut the story short, is she became my anchor, right? And my support system. She invited me to go and eat ugaris. She thought I used to eat ugaris, and I said, "No, I haven't eaten ugari for a long time." And she laughed at me, but she cooked the food that I was used to eating, the traditional kale and other things like that. So yeah, it's those little things, and my network actually through her expanded as well. We built a strong relationship. She now lives when we went back to Kenya, she lives in Kenya, but we still support her. Her mother lives here in the Bay Area. But we have built that relationship because of the role that they played in my life, and the role that we played in terms of uplifting each other by just discussing some topics that you may not maybe discuss with anybody else. So those were also uplifting moments as well. So
I can relate there, but also another side to this, glad you were able to find someone, that could relate
yeah.
and see through that you've built some strong relationships. Now, imagine a situation where there's just no one.
Yeah.
And I think speaking about this today, I would definitely take that differently because of my experience and because of where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
But I can look back to some situations where I walked in and there's just literally no one.
Yeah.
So I know there's been cases where I'll shrink,
Mm-hmm.
you know, get into my head a little bit there. But then talk to that inner voice and remind yourself for you to be there, you
Mm-hmm.
deserve to be there, and you can be an inspiration to someone else. And
Mm-hmm.
so it becomes an opportunity to open a door to others as well,
Correct.
because your presence there and being maybe the only one that can relate to your situation, your presence there is proof already that it's possible. And
Mm-hmm.
it's possible for others as well.
Yeah.
And so your actions in that moment, in the long
Matters.
run, make it easier for someone else
Yeah.
to follow. I mean, here we are today because of those experiences, we're able to come together
Correct.
and talk about this. So that's the
Oh,
beauty of lifting others as we rise. I mean, we are not there yet. We're still, heading there. But you don't
yeah.
need to wait until you feel now you are successful before you can turn around and help others. You can
Correct.
help others in your imperfection. You're still discovering, but there's always something that you can do to help someone.
Correct. That's perfectly said. I think sometimes people say, "Okay, I'll wait until I get more money. That's when I'll help."
Exactly.
And oh, I don't have time. I think for me, what I've realized is uh, you can create time if you want um, to create time to help somebody else. I think in helping, it's not just helping, but you really need to make sure that when you're helping with love. That's what I say. And it's not something that you feel as if it's a chore. Yes. If
Yes,
you,
you said something earlier, again about the person that you met, and it was like, where are you from? And
Mhm. Yeah.
that relationship that you have built. So now, as you're saying that, it just hits home. And I must say, in the process of lifting others, of course, it is a process. It comes with building trust, for someone to follow and someone to, to hold your hand, the hand
Correct.
that you're
Correct.
extending.
Correct.
There's a bond, there's a relationship, no matter whether it takes a minute, a week, whatever amount of time it takes, there's a bond and there's a relationship that's built in the
Correct.
process,
Correct.
a degree of trust, so someone knows you're offering or extending help, maybe because it's a journey that you have been through
Yeah.
yourself. Exactly. So building those bonds and building those networks is very important.
Oh, it is crucial. It is crucial for even our own health, to be honest, especially especially when you're in an environment where you may be the only person. But building those relationships, not only with the other people that are around, but people who can understand your culture is very critical to me. And with understanding that culture, they inject some energy in you because you know that maybe sometimes I'm not alone. There are people like me who are also just going through similar situation, adjusting to the new world that you are in. And I think to me, that actually fostered every time when I move to a place is I'm looking, as much as I make friends with other people in a neighborhood, anywhere that I am, I try to find people who look like me because there's something that I need to feed on. And I want to share my own experiences with them as well so that we can support each other. Because there are certain things that they can only understand because of my upbringing as well. So
I feel like you almost took us there, but let me direct it to there since you've already hinted a little bit. Let's talk about the challenges.
mhm,
It sounds very easier said, possibly,
mhm,
than done. So obviously, it wasn't that easy or not that easy for everyone out there. So let's discuss some challenges to consider in the
mhm,
process of lifting others.
mhm. I think for me, what I find some of the challenges that we can have can be um, that sometimes we can be very competitive amongst ourselves, uh, among our immigrants, instead of supporting each other or collaborating with one another. And for me, what I've found is we have a lot of space to operate in, and we can all work together. And I think what I realized when we face those challenges, when we see as if instead of collaborating, we are sort of crashing, somebody has to become an adult. Somebody has to really pave the way and show that this is not a competition. This is about us having a community, especially the immigrant community that supports one another, that helps one another when we need each other, because there are certain things that we can only understand ourselves. Yeah.
Very
There
true.
are certain jokes that I remember one of my friends, there are certain jokes that you can only understand, right? And to me, that is the reason why, as much as we want to succeed, we don't want to have that competitive uh, clashes that are not fruitful to us as immigrants, us as minorities as well. So.
Right, right. There's that saying, there's enough space at the top for everyone.
Yeah.
So there's no need to be competitive.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
It does I believe a competitive mindset in that aspect really comes from some deep-rooted fears, I think.
Yes, you're right.
Some deep-rooted fears and insecurities, because
Correct.
sometimes it feels like bringing, someone into your space.
Mm-hmm.
And some people may seem rather competitive, but maybe there's some insecurities there because when you're trying to live, there's a bit of vulnerability, there's a bit of opening up to truly what it is you're experiencing, have experienced. It's just like mentorship. I mean, you are leading the way, so someone
Correct.
has to really walk the path,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it calls for opening up. And so sometimes if we see that mindset
Mm-hmm.
as a person on the receiving end, sometimes rather than looking at it taking it very
Mm-hmm.
personal, sometimes it's important to look deeply into it. And sometimes it comes from people who have certain struggles, fears or they're portraying a different page of life. And so if they help or extend a hand,
Mm-hmm.
then it opens them up to, letting other people in, which really, unfortunately, is not the best way to go about it, because what
Mm-hmm.
is success? Like we keep saying, what is success if it's not shared?
Yes. Yeah.
But those are the challenges that come, if I had to say something about the competitive mindset. But another challenge I would speak to is just knowing the balance between personal ambitions
Mm-hmm.
and also community responsibility.
Yes.
And community responsibility actually goes beyond self,
Yes.
beyond, friend. I know
Yes.
the person. See, there you were in an environment where there was not a friend, there was not anybody that you knew,
Mm-hmm.
but you were looking for some common ground. Sometimes that's all that we need. Who can I help? Who can relate?
Mm-hmm.
Either the background, the journey, who's coming from a different place, they don't have anyone to talk to. It can be as simple as that. And so community responsibility can go beyond, those personal relationships or
Correct.
negatives, because I think I have seen to where people will carry maybe their fears or situations they've
Mm-hmm.
experienced in their past and just put a wall, and they're not able to help any other person. They're not able to
Correct.
open up and
Correct.
extend a hand to someone else. But I believe that there should be a balance between our personal ambitions, and then we all have a responsibility for community.
Correct. Correct. And many
Right,
people, I think it's the trust. I think maybe sometimes they helped and they have been bent.
right,
And with that, they put that wall that they don't want anymore to anybody to penetrate. And I think, yes, we are all going to have those challenges that we're going to support others, or somebody can support us, and we may be the ones who are not acting maturely, or vice versa. But at the same time, we have to realize that we cannot put somebody's behavior or what somebody did to us or to you on other people because they just become victims as well. So to me, the trust becomes can be eroded very, very fast, and then very difficult uh, to extend that support or that help to others. But it's
right,
my
right.
hope that we can try to just take individuals as they are, and allow other people to come in so that we can continue to uplift them and support them as they support us as well.
You did mention something about time earlier,
Mhm.
and thinking about it, that is another challenge.
Yes,
We have a challenge of time, especially if I can speak for immigrants, minorities.
yes.
like myself, and even what we have spoken to already, the challenges of time, juggling several responsibilities. If you think about it, it actually would be justified to say I don't have time to help anyone else because my hands are full.
Yeah.
But I would say we really have to be intentional. So it is definitely not as easy
Yes.
as it sounds talking about it, just being able to extend help here and there when maybe you are going through some challenges, extreme challenges in the process, but being able to know that in the midst of whatever you're facing, there is still help that you can give to someone else. But some of the things I can speak to as a minority, as an immigrant, is yes, rising is not straightforward to begin
Of
with.
course. Of
We
course.
have to push through certain limitations, certain
Barriers.
barriers, that others don't. They say we have to work, I don't know how many times harder,
200, more than 200%.
right?
Yes.
And life goes on. In the process, we're still building career, we're still trying to do business, we're still trying to build families, and
Yes.
then work, what, 10, 100 times harder
Yes.
than everyone else. I
Yes.
mean, for others, there's language barriers, challenges. There's restrictions that we may have to overcome. I mean, even the big one of financial limitation. And so when we think of helping others, most times, if we're really buried into financial limitations, we'll feel like we don't have much, we don't have what it takes to help someone. But there's always something that we can do. And I'm sure before we conclude, we will talk into some tips of what does lifting others look like. If someone is thinking, financial help already, they might shut down and say, I mean, I have challenges in that area. I don't have room to help anyone. But maybe before we conclude, we'll talk into the tips. What exactly is help? What can it look like? Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're almost close to running out of time. I think this is a topic that is wide, and we have so many things that we can do. But when we talk about help, what does it look like? I think that's what we talked about network. I may not be able to support, or you may not be able to support, but you may know somebody else that is immigrant who has gone through, who has the capability to help, right? So that could be somewhere where I think having this relationship of sort of having time to support or to help others in the community can have a ripple effect. And with that network, we can all benefit in that you know somebody and somebody knows someone else who can support our challenge or anything that we're going through. So to me, it's very important that we do that. So what I can just say is, as we reflect on this powerful phrase of "we lift as we rise," it's my hope that throughout the journey that we walk through, we'll find that our lives are intertwined, and we should continue to just help others, and as we are helping ourselves as well. And would like to encourage our listeners to ensure that you continue to support your families, support friends, support the communities, your colleagues in the journey to whatever you call success in your life. And as you achieve the set goals that you have for yourself. Cal?
Wonderful, wonderful. Those are great tips. I mean, we can mentor. We can, to piggyback on the network, we can share opportunities. That's another way. So you can share opportunities. Are you in a space where you can mention someone's name?
Yeah.
Refer, share opportunities within networks. That's just one way. We don't need a huge financial muscle to be able to help someone in that area, but we don't know what door of opportunity it might open
Yes.
for someone, and even just offering encouragement.
Yes.
Sometimes that's all that someone needs.
Correct.
Going through the challenge, someone just needs to hear that, in fact, they're not the only ones.
Yes.
Someone else had to go through it. And so, from where we come from, sometimes we're quick to assume,
It's when
it's
yes.
trying to find a better way to phrase that, but we are quick to direct it to certain sources and think it's unique to just us. And so sometimes we just need to hear that, hey, everybody else goes through this.
Correct.
And people have found solutions. So it
Correct.
might seem like simple advice, but that's just what someone needed to push through.
Yeah, it's just somebody to listen. Yeah,
exactly.
They just need somebody to spare their 2 ears, so, so that at least they can hear the frustrations. But yeah.
All right. So
I
anything
think,
else before we wrap it up?
yes, I think we've had a wonderful topic. I think to our listeners, every small act that you do to support others, it does create so much ripple effect, and it can change the whole world that we have. So it's my hope that we continue to explore, we continue to inspire and others, but more importantly, look at this concept. We lift as we rise. And I hope you just continue to keep lifting and we keep rising together as communities so that we can make this world a better place.
Great. Thank you, thank you, thank you for a wonderful conversation. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on today's episode. I hope this message reminded you of the power that you hold, not just to rise, but to lift others along the way.
Yes.
In this episode, we talked about uplifting others. And here is a challenge for you. Let us build a culture where success is inclusive, where success is empowering, and it's rooted in community. Let us keep rising and let us keep lifting. So thank you for joining us on this journey to elevate and inspire. Until next time, lead with purpose and grow with passion.
Amen. Amen. Woo!
Yay! Let us go